Hi, I'm Davy. I'm awesome. Welcome to Dave's Awesome Stories, where I tell funny stories from the past or go on a rant and never make you laugh. So it's been a while since I've talked about this girl that I used to know. Her and her husband used to come into the gas station I worked at all the time, and she used to hurt my brain every time she came in. A girl that we nicknamed Ham Girl. Told a story about the weird stuff she said, including how she became Ham Girl, of all things. I then later told more stories about her. Today, I'm not telling several stories, just one that I was thinking about. Now, those of you who may not have watched those previous videos, I'm not going to explain why we called her Ham Girl, but I am going to explain what it was about her that hurt my brain. This girl was exactly the stereotype you see in movies and TV shows of a very beautiful, blonde-haired, blue-eyed girl who was really, really dumb. A girl who had less going on upstairs than a can of spinach. And it made me laugh about her husband. Like, as shallow as I've ever been, you actually married a girl this dumb. He wasn't. He would come in, we'd talk, she'd usually get in there. That's where my brain would start hurting, because she'd say stupid things. And for some reason, always want me to explain to her. Not only that, but very often, her and her husband would walk in already in a conversation where he's basically trying to argue with a fence post. And for some reason, they loved including me. I think more than anything, he loved including me, because I think it amused him watching me struggle in pain. One day, she comes in, and she goes, "Hey, you're smart." And the first thing in my head I thought was, "You're not." But she continued, "My husband's telling me that New York used to have a different name." "Yeah, it used to be New Amsterdam." "Seriously?" "Yeah. A long time ago, before it was even America." "Why they change it?" "Okay, well, again, before it was America, it was just colonies, places owned by different countries. The Netherlands owned that area, and basically what was just now known as Manhattan, New York, was New Amsterdam, and what made up what is now the state of New York was New Netherlands. But then England came along and fought against the Dutch to take control because it was a very good trading post in the middle of the ocean. And here's the thing, the entire time I'm saying this to her, she's got this look on her face like, and it made me think, this must be how it feels for somebody else when they're trying to talk to me about, like, fixing a car. Because at some point you're going to be explaining me, like, alternator, clutch, blinkers, whatever, and I'm going to be sitting there like... But, so as not to confuse it too much, I tried to dumb it down a bit for her. It was owned by one country, England took it. So America renamed it? Well, no. Like I said, this was before it was America. This happened in 1664. America didn't become a country until we declared independence in 1776. July 4th, 1776. We became a country on a holiday? That one took me a minute. But I look over and even her husband is like... I guess you could say it that way, but no. We didn't become a country on a holiday. It's a holiday because that's the day we became a country. It's why 4th of July is an American holiday. Other countries don't celebrate it? No. No, they don't. I mean, you never know. There may be some weird guy up in Canada who loves America so much that 4th of July, he's lighting off fireworks in his backyard, but I sincerely doubt it. That's weird. I mean, we celebrate Mexico's. Took me a minute, and then I was like, oh, are you thinking Cinco de Mayo? That's not their Independence Day. That's a day they won a battle that kind of got them there, but that's not their Independence Day. So of all the names, why New York? Well, York is a famous city in England. Oh, is that where they make those chocolate mint candies? No. No. I mean, I'm not sure, maybe that is where they make them now, but at the time, no. I have since looked it up, and if you're wondering, no. York peppermint patties are not from York, England. They're actually from York, Pennsylvania. So those are American. And yes, I was just as surprised to you to find out that we have New York, and York all in this one country. But I will say this, at the time, I wasn't 100% sure. I was just mostly sure that that's not where they make York peppermint patties. She goes on. So why'd they name both the state and city New York? That was mostly due to some guy's ego. The guy who led the campaign, the guy who was in charge of the fighting for England, he was the Duke of York. And as a reward for taking it for England, the king allowed him to name it after himself. I thought you said it was a city in England. It is. But a lot of cities in England, even to this day, have royalty, not kings and queens or princes, but like lower royalty, dukes, lords, and stuff like that are over specific cities. For example, in this case, the Duke, like one of the head guys in York, had the title of Duke of York. You have no idea how hard this is to explain to somebody you know is not getting anything. Even the campaign thing. To this day, I think about how I almost looked at her and said, the guy who caused all the ouchies, that's his name. But summing it up. So yeah, like I said, Amsterdam is the capital of the Netherlands, which is why they named their most important city in that colony New Amsterdam, whereas the entire colony was called New Netherlands. New Netherlands is now New York, as well as New Amsterdam is now New York. So is that where all the cities and states got their names? A lot of them, yeah. You know, there's a town in Connecticut called New England. Like we talked about, there's New York, there's New Jersey, there's a Jersey in England. A lot of them, it depends on who had control of the territory at the time. For example, Louisiana was a French territory. Their most famous city is New Orleans, from Orleans, France. Obviously, New Mexico was owned by Mexico. Or even some cities, like you could tell where the French occupied. Lived in Texas, because there are some places in Texas that have French names. Like, for example, there is a Paris, Texas. But not New Paris? No, they didn't always go with the route of new. For example, one of our states is called Georgia, which was named after Georgia, England. So they didn't have to put new in front of Georgia? No. I don't think they had to put new in front of anything. They just decided to. Is that because it was public domain? I just told her I didn't know. But in my head, I couldn't help but think, you don't know that other countries don't celebrate 4th of July. You don't know that York is not where peppermint patties are made. But you know about public domain? So there you have it. That's my story video this week. Hope you guys enjoyed it. And if you did, make sure to hit like, hit subscribe, hit the little bell so you get notifications for when I post videos. And leave a comment I can respond to in my next comment corner. If you've ever had to talk to somebody like this, give me a story.